Okay. Hello, hello. Let me check that I'm live for real, for real. I think a lot of the platforms have actually updated, and your girl's still catching up. Let's see. Okay. All right. I think I just put it the subtitle as the title for this live, but it's all good. Hello, hello, everyone watching. If you're watching the replay, pop in the comments and say hi. Let me know that you're here. Yes, so I decided I wanted to come on and talk about, if you can see the title, I'm not sure if it's actually showing up, but why relocation is hard and the reason why it's hard and why it actually doesn't have to be that way. Okay, so I'm gonna get right to the point with this. So I'm in a lot of naturally, so I'm in a lot of relocation based Facebook groups, right? And there's always this controversy because you'll have the like seasoned expats who are like they're giving their experience, they're sharing what they've gone through, and they're giving advice, right? Then you have people who haven't really relocated abroad yet, and let me know if you're in these groups. Let me know which ones you are and if you've had these experiences. Then you have people who are pre-relocation who are asking questions, and no shade if you're one of them who have asked some of the questions I'm going to be asking now or sharing now. But there's this clash because people who have relocated are like, you can Google this. This is not, that you're asking the wrong questions here, or people are like jumping on each other. Like the relocated people are like, chill out, it's fine. And people who haven't relocated are like, I have all these questions and concerns. I just want someone to answer them, right? And the thing is, I can see both because I can see where the expats who have already relocated are coming from, and they're like, really, it's actually quite simple. Just go to Google, find these things, right? And I also know what it's like to be relocated and have tons of questions. I also know the questions that my clients have, um, and just how big this all can be. In general, just because you're moving your whole life, even if you just move, like if you're American, you move state to state, that can be a lot. So I get and I see both. And so today I want to talk about the reason why relocation can seem so hard. And yeah, it can seem a lot harder than it needs to be. All right. And that reason is because it's new and it's not common. That's really it, okay? It's something new for you, right? And it's not something that's common. Because most of the time in life, when we're about to embark on something new, there's usually someone in our like space that we can talk to about it, right? Like, let's say you're about to buy a home for the first time. You most likely know at least a handful of people who have bought a home. And so even though it's a new experience for you, you can go physically talk, walk up to someone, have a coffee, hop on the phone, a Zoom call, and you can have a conversation about being a new homeowner, right? You can obviously use the internet and all the resources available there, but you have that human touch, right? Um, and it's common. It's not like, whoa, you're looking at buying a home, girl. What are you thinking? Are you smoking that? Like it's not something crazy new. People will share about it. You can look up resources all over about it, videos, books, anything about buying a new home. So the reason with relocating abroad, is not everyone has that handful of people or one person even that they know of, or like, hey, like even if like an aunt's friend, like, or whatever, you don't always have that personal human touch with someone who has moved abroad before. And if they did, it's like, oh, maybe they have like family there, and so it's a different experience for them, or whatever the case may be. So Not only is it new, but it's uncommon, and you don't have that, because it's uncommon, you likely don't have that personal touch of a human you can sit down and have coffee with and say, okay, like, what's good? Tell me your experience, tell me what I need to do. And even if it is just one, a lot of times, like, we want to feel safe, and we feel safe in numbers as humans. um, we often gravitate to things that everyone is doing. So, like, people, like, if you go past the restaurant and you see the restaurant is full, then you trust that that restaurant is popping. They got good food. You trust that they're doing something right because clearly everyone else is eating there, right? And if you walk past a restaurant where there's nobody there, or like one or two couples or whatever, you're gonna, like, immediately judge that restaurant and be like, well, because there's not that many people, I don't think this food is good. But is that really true? It's really not true. Like, you can go and see a restaurant that's crowded and packed because they just have a great marketing campaign going. Maybe they just, yeah, or maybe they have a deal of the day and it's like super cheap. But that doesn't necessarily mean the food is good. Whereas you have this restaurant that's got nobody, maybe they don't even have any marketing, they don't have a social media presence or whatever. So, yeah, that was a little tangent to say that we always tend to follow things that everyone else does. So if you don't have someone or a group of people who have gone abroad, it can likely feel like this is so hard because you have nobody to look to, no experiences to compare. You're on the internet, you're trying to get these strangers to help you, and you're like, what the actual crap? Right? So the reason why relocation can seem so hard is because it's new, uncommon. Because of that uncommon nature, you don't have a group of people you can look to. So really what I want to share today is it is actually a lot simpler than it may seem to relocate, right? And you may have already come to this conclusion. Like, you can see on paper, it's a very simple process, right? To find something that you want to do abroad and then just go, right? It's very simple. And for me, one thing I love to do for my clients, for my members of my membership, I like to break things down and to clear things up in a way that's just super duper simple, because it is. But as humans, we like to complicate things, and the fear of the unknown will likely add lots of complication to your journey, right? So, I would like you guys to share, actually, what do you feel? This would be really helpful, actually, if you're watching this on the replay or live, to comment below this video what feels hard. What exactly in your journey feels hard? What exactly on your journey feels complicated? Okay. So comment that below, and if I don't get one on live, and I don't even know if I can see comments, but then I will still go back and read your comments and respond. And so, with it being uncommon, you not having many human touch experience with people who've relocated, it is often hard to know what you want. Again, because many of our decisions, scarily and sadly, are coming from my family did this, my colleagues did this, people I went to college with did this. Like, we're not even, a lot of people are just living life from no point of self-inspiration. Like, you think you're inspired because you saw something on Instagram, but you're not being inspired by your own heart and your own desires and your own feelings. And so when it comes to doing something new, like moving abroad, without having all the support and the human touch that you'd like, this requires you to be very clear on what you want and what you need in order to feel safe, secure, ready, all that to move abroad, right? So it's really getting clear on what you want. What do you want? What do you need? And what do you want and need in order to feel safe to actually make this move happen? So once it needs abroad, right? And then your need, what needs to change, what needs to shift, what needs to happen in order for you to feel free enough to actually do the damn thing, to actually buy the ticket, to actually apply, to accept the offer, all these different things, right? So it requires knowing what you want, and it requires a crap ton of focus. Again, because you're not going to have that support system likely. I mean, if you do, that's awesome. But you're likely not going to have that system of like 12 other people who are like, yeah, I bought a home and I can help you. You know, you're not going to have 12 other people in your life. They're like, yeah, I moved abroad and let me help you, right? And it's likely that if you are on these Facebook groups, you're trying to find those people, you're trying to find your answers, and it can feel like so impersonal, so distant, so like, is this even true? Can I trust this? And it's like a huge decision because you're like, I'm about to leave everything and move abroad, and I don't even have the answers I want. I don't have the reassurance I want, right? Um, so yes, so this is honestly what I try to do with my clients, with members. Simplify what needs to be done, get you very clear on what you need, and it'll help you take action that will actually get you there in a very simplified, easy way. I have to see. Oh God, I almost dropped my pad, my notepad. Right? So, oh, I know what it is. I closed. Oh, I didn't close it. I like my door is like slightly opened, and I just lit incense, and then I had sage going. I have all the things. It's very important. um, so yes, simplicity, focus, knowing what you want, simple action. It's very, very simple, but we cloud it and we fog it up out of fear of the unknown. Okay, and so actually this month in the Borderless Babes Lounge, which is my monthly membership for Borderless Souls, we really focus on helping you move abroad. Very simple actions you get every month that help you move forward on your journey, helping you not only prep practically, but also mentally. So that the safety I was talking about is a mental thing. Like you have to feel on some level safe enough to go, right? Like I consider myself a daring person, an adventurous and spontaneous person, but that's because I created some seed of safety within myself to know like I'm going to be okay, right? And so a lot of that is mental. And so when I talk about mental or mindset prep for relocation, that's what I'm talking about and beyond, right? And also living freely now. So these are the 3 points of the Borderless Babes Lounge. So relocation is likely a couple months, perhaps a year, perhaps years down the road. It depends on your timeline. Does that mean you have to have a sucky life up until that point? No. And so what I do also, what we do in the Borderless Babes Lounge is help you cultivate a life of freedom now so you're not delaying it for your relocation. Because there's no need to do that. Like our culture in America at least is like very much like suffer, work hard. But it's my guess that if you are trying to move abroad, that you're not trying to subscribe to that culture. Okay. So, quick breakdown of how we go through all this month in October for Borderless Babes Lounge. Everything I just shared with you, we actually go through it. And I'm changing my screen right now because I just wanted to see all the modules. So this month for the Borderless Babes Lounge, it came in 4 parts. And basically every month you get that month and all the months before. So like, you could be like, well, I wanted September's bundle. Don't worry. If you join now, you'll get September and October and so on for as many months as you decide to stay in. And it's cancel anytime. So part 1 is the secret to relocating during the pandemic. So that's part 1 of this month's bundle in the membership. Part 2 is I take everyone through the Vivo method. So this is my personal method I use to help people get really clear on what they want. And this is exactly what I spoke about in the beginning of this live, is that you have to be so clear, again, because you don't have that support system, because you don't have a ton of people who you can probably call up and be like, hey, how was it for you when you moved to Asia? How was it for you when you moved to Mexico, wherever, right? So the Vivo method is my method that goes through a visualization, intention, values, and objectives. So basically, you're getting really clear on exactly what it is you need and want in order to have fulfillment in this country, abroad. And you make objectives from that place. You set your goals from that place. All right. So with that, you get a visualization from me. Part 3 is the values. So we're going through the Vivo method. So this is where I help you create your intention and your focus, right? Because again, if you don't have that support system, if it's not common, if it's so new, your brain can go in a million ways. And let me know in the comments if that has been you. Have you been on like literally every website, every Facebook group, asking every stranger, trying to get everything you can, and your focus just goes, I call it the research rabbit hole, like where you're like on YouTube, on a blog, on a recruiter site, and you're like boop, 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 and you're like, well, did I learn anything? Did I get anywhere? Is my relocation closer now? So this part, in part 3, we get really deep on focusing your energy and efforts so you can actually move forward and relocate as soon as possible. And part 4 has yet to happen. So you can, if you join today, you will be live for this because it's a live call that we have in our private Facebook group. And this is where I go over planning during the pandemic, the objectives part of the Vivo method. So I'm sharing practical tips. So practical, actionable tips for planning your relocation during this crazy time of life. Okay, so that's a little BTS of the Borderless Babes Lounge. Don't know what that accent was. Yes. So simplicity, focus, community, all these things we do in the Borderless Babes Lounge. If you have any questions, feel free to slide in my DMs, drop a comment below. And yes, I look forward to having you in. The price will be going up. Right now, it's $57 per month for the Borderless Babes Lounge. You can also pay 6 months at a time, and you actually save on 1 month. 1 month is free when you sign up for 6 months. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. The link is bit.ly/borderlessbabeslounge, and you can find the link actually here in the group, or I can also drop it in the comments. It'll probably be easiest. I hope you guys have, oh, it's Thursday. It really is Thursday. Have a wonderful Thursday. I will see you soon.